Hi, and welcome everyone to another episode of my Facebook Live. I will be talking about how to optimize your Showit website for SEO. I am going to be focusing on Showit at this stage, but you can also apply this to any of your website if it's built on any other platform. So let's get started. Before I get started, I just want to, for those who are new in this video, for those who don't know me yet, I am Jeffany. I am a brand and website stylist, brand and website designer, and it's my passion to help other women look good online. So let's get started. So yeah, that's just a little something about me and my daughter there. I am a mom to a 4-year-old daughter, and I just love designing. So without a further ado, I am going to go ahead into the overview of the topic for today. So I have listed here six ways to optimize your site for SEO. So by the way, what is SEO? So it stands for search engine optimization. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of people are not aware of this very important factor in terms of websites. And this is why some prices of a website design could range from $1,500 to $8,000 or even $20,000. So it depends on what you really want for your website. So if you factor in the SEO thing and the ongoing maintenance of blogging, writing copy, that's when the costs really go up high, but it's for your own advantage. So if you're a DIYer or someone who is just getting started with or is just getting introduced to SEO, this video content is for you. So let's move on, and what I'm going to be talking about here on optimizing your SEO. The first one is the keyword research, right? So we're going to delve into that. The second one is use of headings. The third one is utilize the technical SEO settings in your website builder. So in this case, I'm going to be showing you the Showit back end. And the next steps are also more on the technical side. You have to have like Google accounts, verify your site on Google, Search Console, and submitting your sitemap, especially if you have a blog. And of course, the last part is the ongoing maintenance or ongoing efforts to increase your SEO, which involves blogging. So let's get started with the first one, the keyword research. So in your industry, you have to think of if you're a photographer, so you want to be using photography. But another thing that you want to think about is a long phrase keywords that's gonna give you the leverage to be found. So one tool that I will recommend is using the Neil Patel Uber Suggest. So to find keywords, you will have to check with Uber Suggest. So for this instance, I am gonna be showing website design. So that's just my presentation. So let's go over into the actual look of what this looks like. So the Neil Patel Uber suggests, they also recommend that if you already have a website, you can take SEO analyzer. They offer that for free. And we're just gonna do keyword research here. So I highly recommend my clients to have their own copywriter and really opt for the keyword research if the copywriter have it separately, but it's all worth it. So I'm gonna quickly show you how you could use this tool. So you go to neilpatil.com/Uber Suggest. So this is the tool where you could look for your SEO competitors. So find your location first. So for me, it's New Zealand English, and my keyword I would love is stylish web design. So I will go ahead and click search. And then in here, again, it's just trying to offer me some premium feature. And in here, it is going to show me the search volume for this particular keyword, the SEO difficulty to rank for, and the paid difficulty. So if I'm paying Google ads and stuff, like it's going to be difficult to really get ranked, and the cost per click if I run an ads for this kind of keyword. So basically there's a lot of it's just taking a little time to give me the data, but I'm gonna run you through quickly here what else you could be getting from this tool. By the way, Neil Patil also writes a lot of blogs and helpful resources about SEO, search engine optimization. So you might want to go ahead and read about all his blog about SEO. So I don't really want to consider myself as an SEO specialist because this is a separate segment of website optimization. So my expertise is in branding and website design. So whatever I'm going to be talking today is going to be how to kind of like educate you on SEO, the small parts of SEO, and what I can share as a website designer. I'm also not a copywriter, and you will have to, if you don't want to DIY your SEO or thing or copywriting, I really recommend talking to a copywriter. So it's just super slow at the moment. So okay, so I might have reached my daily limit to work on this. So you, for you to use a free version, you will have up to 3 daily searches available. And it turns out I've been testing this earlier and I might have used it up. But anyway, I am just gonna go through the thing that you're going to see here. The keyword that you're going to see here is that what people are actually typing to search for your services online, and the trend is the volume of the keyword over the last 12 months, and the search volume is the actual number of searches in your region. So if you put New Zealand or your own country, it will also show some cities in there. And the cost per click if you run a Google ads, and paid difficulty, same with that, SEO difficulty. So when I would work with my copywriter, she told me before about SEO difficulty that you want to be using keywords that are low in difficulty, and you can kind of like spread out into long tail keywords. Like the more specific your niche is, so for example, if you're a photographer and you focus on newborns, so you want to make sure that you want to put newborn photography in your keywords. So that's basically it. So unfortunately this is not working at this point, so we're gonna have to move on to the next thing that will optimize your keyword. Otherwise, if we get stuck there, then we can never tackle the rest of the important factors. So the second thing that we want to consider is use heading tags, and I will explain why we need this one. So the reason why we use use headings on your website is to show text structure. So text structure in a way that it should kind of like categorize what's on the top and what's under that heading. So something like that. So compare it to a book. So the book title is the H1, the H2 is like the chapters, and whatever headings under each chapter, that's the subsections. So if that makes sense, I kind of like use the book as to compare. The second one is to improve accessibility. Accessibility in a way that for people who are visually impaired, there's like an HTML, because headings are in HTML form, and Google or search engines don't, can't see the words. They kind of like just have to be told that, hey, this is a heading. So when you're reading it out, this is how you say it, heading. This is important. So that's accessibility for people who are visually impaired. And the last one why we need to use headings is, of course, to improve SEO, so you rank and get found online. So for any good read about headings and SEO, you can go ahead and check out yoast.com as well. So, okay, how do we apply that? So, you can install a headings map Chrome extension on your browser, and this is what it looks like. So we will use a blog title that I have, and once you've installed that Chrome, it should be in here. And this is basically what it looks like. So it will show that this is the page heading one. So one tip is you will only have to use heading one once per page of your website. So again, this is like a book title, so it's in the cover and you only use it once, which is on the, so it's like that. So the heading one will only have to be one, and the heading twos are the subheadings. So you kind of like, so in this article of mine, the head one is the title of the blog. So this is very important in blogs, right? So you want to make sure that each blog is categorized as like that. I will show you quickly as well what it looks like on the back end of Showit. So so the subheadings are H2 like that, and if there are items under subheadings, the next thing is H3. So that's what it's like. So that's why it's important to tag them, so the search engine can read this structure, text structure. So if it's kind of like messy and it's not tagged properly, then you will confuse the search engine. Like, they would not kind of like know the structure of your article, your website page. So you want to make sure it's properly tagged. So I will take you now to the Showit back end. So I will use one of the templates that I already have. What I'm going to do is do that. So for example, this is a Showit website, and let's have a look at the heading on homepage. So if you click there on homepage, on the right, there's SEO settings, or the tagging. Let's go on tagging. So this one is a heading, right? And we want to properly tag that by going to the text properties and tag that as H1. So we will only have to use one H1 in here. And for another heading, it has to be H2. And that one, H2 again, another heading. And under this heading 2 is H3, and that one, another H2. So you have to be using H2 there. And that's another heading there. And go to text properties, it's H2. And make sure a paragraph is set to P as well. and a heading set to H2, a paragraph is set to paragraph. So now when we're checking on that, okay, so when we look at that, it should, let me just put down my face. So when we check for headings, so we did tag as H1 for the social media marketing. That's your unique proposition value. The heading 2 is that achieve Instagram management. I don't understand that why this Instagram management is under that instead of the services. Um, that's the thing I don't understand in this one, because it's supposed to be under services. But see, there is like some instances that you can't control, of course, fully. But if you set the tagging on the website builder, you could see it here that you've done that. So yeah. What else can we do? Another thing that you want to set up is okay, we're gonna have to move on to the next one, which is utilize the Showit SEO settings. That is the next thing. So the next thing after you've the keyword research, the heading, use of headings. So if you work with copywriter, they will also give you like an article on which headings that you need to tag H2 as a guide, because when I work with my copywriter, that's what she gave me. She kind of like led me on like this thing has to be H2, H3, H3. So yeah, that's the good thing about working with copywriters. And the next thing is to apply those guide from your copywriter into your website builder. So that's the next thing I'm gonna show you now. And to give you a background, I'm just going to show you this one. So the reason why you want to set it up on your website builder is this is what shows on Google search. So if you don't set in here, the Google or search engines automatically pull up data from your website page or not. So if you want to make sure that you want to kind of like optimize the whatever Google is showing to your to the people who are searching you, then you want to add it over here. So I'm going to show you quickly on Showit backend. It's gonna go ahead again. So in this template, we'll have to go under SEO settings, and this is where you can put the page title. So what is this page about? So it's about homepage. So what you could do is, what is this homepage about? So you could do social media marketing. You could put your brand in here, like brand name. Add that one, and social media marketing. And then the description of your website is tell about like what you do. And you can this is like, there is a limit here, so there's a 60 there out of 60. And you can also put I think for meta description it's limited up to 150 characters including spaces. So now this is the chance where you could put like stand out on social media with strategic social media marketing and blah 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 as well, marketing that gives you results. So whatever you want to add, but make sure it's also branded and it's connected to what you do and what your ideal clients are looking for. So that's it. And you can also add an image here for sharing. So if you share this page to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, this is the image that's going to pop up. It's going to show. So yeah. So yeah, I think we're done with your utilize. So now we're gonna go back in here. So now you get that one, and the image is for social sharing. So the next part of SEO is more like the technical side now. So once you've done that, those in the website, the next thing is once you publish your site or launch it, the next step is to verify your site in Google Search Console. And for you to do that, you will have to go into here to your Google Search Console. So you have to go to search.google.com/search console, and then you will be taken to this thing, and then you may want to add a property. So if you don't have a website there yet, you can just add a property there. So you can also add all of your subdomains. So for me, I still haven't added my style web design. Okay, and then now you just have to continue it. And the next step involves more technical more technical work, but you don't have to do this. It is something that you could always ask help from your website designer or someone who does SEO. So you can just copy that. But for this video, I'm gonna walk you through a little bit about that. And then you will go to your domain DNS provider, because that's when you need to update all your DNS records. For me, I am with SiteGround, and if you're using SiteGround, you have to go under domain, DNS zone editor, and select the domain. And for this instance, I have this is that one, and then you just have to click add, and now I'm just gonna do create because it's just a text domain. So now that I've added it there, I just need to go back in here and then click verify. I might have to refresh it actually. Okay, so I'll need to refresh, and it takes a bit of time to do that. So let me, there it is, checking verification, and now verify. Should really take some time. We can find the verification. Okay, so that did not work yet. So if that didn't work, you can also use the CNAME property. So with the CNAME property, there's some instructions over here. So there's a lot of resources you could find to process this. So if you use a WordPress site, it's easier to do this using Yoast plugin. But if you have Showit, you would have to go to your DNS provider, domain name provider. Okay, so I waited a bit. So what I only did is retry and retry. So now it's saying domain name provider. So now I am verified as the owner of this website. So that's how you can verify your website. So after you publish your site, this is how you do it. This is to tell Google, hey Google, this is my own site. I've published it. And yeah. So let's move on to the next one. The next one and the last one, which I did not add it there, is submit your sitemap to Google. So submitting your sitemap to Google is only important if you have a blog. So how to do that is to, now that I've done that, is to still on the Google search engine. So let me see. So take note that submitting your sitemap to Google only applies if you have a blog and if you have done a website revamp. This is so important. So it's like telling people, hey, I've done some changes. This is the new sitemap. So that is when you need to do the sitemap. So since Showit blog run on WordPress, this is the time when you can install the Yoast plugin on the WordPress uh, dashboard, and you can do the sitemap. And I don't have much time to show you the step-by-step and on, because I don't have my blog on Showit. It's on WordPress, but I'm gonna show you this step by step. If you want to see this, you can go to my own website, support.stylewebdesign.co.nz/SEO basics, and this is the instruction on how you can install the Yoast plugin, how to submit your site to Google for reindexing, and it has all the details that you need to do here. You need to verify and then add the Google site verification there. And I think that's actually setting meta tags. Oh, okay. So it's this one, verification code. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an article from Yoast, how to submit it to Google Search Console. So again, from the site Google Search, you have to add your property and then go to sitemaps and then remove the outdated or invalid sitemaps. For example, if you have revamped and generated a new sitemap, and then you will have to kind of like add a new sitemap field, a domain property. You can just add your new domain in here, or if it has already existing, you just have to delete the old one and add a new one. So the difference is there's a site property and domain property, and then you just click submit and voila, you're done. So yeah, that is the technical part of SEO. And I hope that you've learned something about SEO for today. And I just want to quickly show. Okay. Yeah. So, and I just want to provide a lot of value out there for people or clients who have no idea about SEO, about websites. So I thought I really hope you learned something today, and that you will actively kind of like do something for your SEO about your website. So yeah, see you on the next one, and have a look at my show templates from my website shop.stylewebdesign.co.nz, and I shall see you on the next video I'm going to be making.